Snamsa here at Ngosi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead from Within. I'm on my own for now, guys. Kiro Ann is going to join me in a minute. She's just having her um, doing something, and when she's done, she's going to be here and join us. So our topic today is unleash your true potential. Master confidence, conquer goals. It's year 2024, guys, and we're so grateful that we made it to 2024. Some people didn't make it, but we did. Anyone that is watching the talk show today and anyone that is following me on social media, we all made it. So we have to be really, really grateful. So unleash your true potential, master confidence, and conquer your goals. Stand as a beacon to empower individual in their journey towards personal and professional development. This comprehensive video is meticulously crafted to unravel the secret behind mastering confidence, setting and achieving ambitious goals, and ultimately unlocking the true potential within. So when we talk about your true potential within, um, we're talking about transforming your journey. And also we're talking about understanding that the journey begins by diving into the foundation concept of self-beliefs. Understanding the power of believing in oneself forms the cornerstone for any significant personal development. So it's very, very important to actually have a strategy. Like now we're entering 2020, we have entered 2024. What strategy do you have to actually work on your confidence, to conquer those challenges when they arise? Because challenges will always arise. Setting goals is not about going to write down things, and um, when things uh, don't go according to our plan, then we quit. We say, you know what, this is not what I asked for, and then you quit. So you don't have to quit. You can work on your confidence. And when you work on your confidence, you can actually look at write your goals, when you're writing your goals as well, and take action. It's very, very important. Confidence, and taking action. The power. Let's talk about a little bit about the power of self beliefs. When somebody talks about self beliefs, uh, how it has an impact on the individual's journey as life to success. So how can we uh, actually cultivate a positive mindset and embrace that belief that we possess, and that because of that belief that we possess, it can create the power to shape our destiny. It's very, very, very important to actually understand that we are all unique when it comes to life. We are all unique. We were created for a reason. There's a reason why we are here, and there is a reason why we are on earth. So in order for us to actually get to where we need to be, we need to dedicate. We need to dedicate. Um, we need to dedicate ourselves to create that foundation of our lives, and we need to also we need to understand why is it important for us to actually um, what's the psychology behind the self-beliefs. And when you understand the psychology behind the self-beliefs, it's very, very important that self-beliefs is formed and reinforced. And most importantly, we have to understand that how we can reshaping that and fostering it in a positive and confident mindset is very, very important. And and also, how do we transform that power of self-beliefs? Um, okay, how can we transform that power of self-beliefs? So for me, I'm gonna tell my story, and you have to create your own story based on your own story. For me, to create that power of self-beliefs, first I had to understand my strength, and then I had to understand my weaknesses. And then once I understood my weaknesses, I then had to uh, now I had to I had to evaluate. I have to look at my values and my beliefs as well. And also, I had to really work on my beliefs to understand whether those beliefs are they actually that I formed myself. Are they limiting my life, or can these beliefs carry me through life? Once I understood that, got rid of the beliefs that are holding me, causing a limitation in my life, and then carry those beliefs that can actually carry me through where I need to be. And then you have to, I had to work on my uniqueness and my authenticity, because there are some people who don't believe in themselves. There are some people who don't believe that they're capable of doing anything. And if you ask me myself for what I have learned going through the journey of life, anyone is capable of doing anything. The reason why I'm saying anyone is capable of doing anything, there is no one who is born dumb. There is no one who is born without a talent. There is no one who is born as a copy of somebody. So we decide as we get older, we decide to copy other people, but within us, we have our uniqueness. So that self-belief, it has to be something that you believe yourself, not something, the beliefs that were planted by your parents, not the beliefs that were planted by your friends, not the beliefs that were planted by strangers, or the beliefs that when we go to church, and for those who go to church, some people don't go to church. So I'm going to make an example with those who are Christian. As a Christian, you go to church. The pastor will preach about God. And then he will tell you about who God is. He will preach and he will preach, but he will not actually bring God to you, or he will not actually uh, he will teach you how to connect with God. But then that relationship, it becomes personal between the two people. And then the beliefs are formed. You then have to learn who God is by God communicating with you. So you have to learn those things about your beliefs. And then what God says about you read the scriptures, you do anything, and then after, once you have those beliefs now, it's up to you whether you want to take action with those beliefs so that they can carry you through, or you don't. Some people decide, I don't believe in God. They decide to do that. So that is their beliefs. So when I'm talking about self beliefs, I'm not talking about the beliefs that when you watch this video live and then you start, wow, okay, Nomsa believes in this, I believe in, I'm gonna believe in this. So self beliefs, it means you have to go deep. When you go deep with your inner being, and then you have to connect with yourself, you then have to think about, you have to find that authentic self within. And then you have to create. When you find your authenticity, your true authentic belief within, and then that's when you create your goals. You don't create your goals based on, well, my friend is doing this, I'm going to do the same thing, or there's something that is trending. I've had people, they'll be like, when it comes to jobs, mostly in Africa, which is so annoying, they'll be like, there's something that is trending now. There's a kind of job that is trending. So then the question, and they'll be like, can you send me the information about this job that is trending? And then they'll be like, if you say, okay, like because the opportunities are happened, they happen everywhere, like in Europe, like when you're in Africa, you get different opportunities. Hi, Carol Ann.
Hello.
Yeah, so I'm talking about self-beliefs. Like I'm in the,
Okay.
yeah, where I talk about self-beliefs. So I was explaining that, um, talking about beliefs, where for me, self-beliefs is different. My family sometimes, I don't know, they don't understand me. There's this thing, UK, like it gives visas. Sometimes it comes up with this. And then they'll be like, there's a job that is trending, and then they'll be like, let's apply. So and then I ask my family, I'll be like, what's your goals? What do you want to achieve
Mm,
in life? So and then they'll be telling me like, it's hard, Nomsa, to think about goals. It's hard. I'm like, actually, it's not hard because number one, I do understand that in Africa there's not many opportunities, but when God is in the moment, the opportunities are born.
mm,
When he is in the moment, opportunities. I used to think that way, that I have to do what everybody's doing. But until I realize it, when God is in the moment, when God is in the present, anything can be done. And also, you don't have to question. You don't have to question yourself about the decisions. If I do this, you don't have to fear. You have to have that faith. You have to have that belief. But that faith, it has to come within. It's not planted by anybody. You have to find that part within your heart that it will work with you in order for you to create your goals, and those goals will come to reality. There might be some challenges along the way, but challenges are part of it. Carol Ann knows about challenges. Over to you, Carol Ann.
mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, challenges are. And I often look at it as, you set a goal and it's like the universe or God, whoever wish to think of, says, okay, you've asked for this goal, and they test you.
Yeah.
They test your resolve, they test whether or not this is true. And very often the challenges that you get, you do question. It's like, oh goodness, why has this come? But then when you look back at your goals, it's amazing. You think, oh, okay, that makes sense. But I heard you saying about what's your goals, what do you want to achieve in life? And goals don't have to be these huge life goals.
No.
Goals can be something that will get you from where you are now to where you want to be. So, because I'm just thinking of quite recently, and I think this really sums it up for me or brought it home to me, that it's just achieving something in the moment, something that you can't do. And when I was in hospital and I couldn't walk, I had no strength, a simple goal was to be able to get out of bed myself, get up, walk to the toilet. Before that, it was an even simpler goal to be able to turn myself over in bed. I couldn't even do that. I didn't have the strength to turn myself over. I had to ring the bell, get the nurses to help me to turn me, and they'd push and I'd sort of just grab hold of the rail to pull myself and help them. But it was hard work until eventually I started getting some mobility and some strength. And I realized, oh, I can turn myself. I was able to start turning myself and then start sitting up. I'd have the mattress or the mattress sort of the bed would move up so it would sit me up. But then I had to pull myself up to sitting. And in the beginning, I couldn't even do that. I had to ask for help to have my pillows repositioned to sit me up. And eventually I was able to grab hold of the rails, pull myself up. And then my muscles started kicking in. So there's all those little goals. But that one, they all sort of went towards me being able to eventually get out of bed and walk to the toilet. So again, the walking goals were there. And the one goal that I had when I came out of hospital was to be able to walk to the station, the tube station, which isn't that far. It is literally, when you can walk quite quickly, it's literally less than 5 minutes away. But it used to take me about a quarter of an hour, because I'd be sitting getting my breath. But to walk to the station, up the stairs, onto a train, and then go into the city, because I'm in just outside London. And I was told when I came out of hospital, gosh, that's a big goal. And I said, well, that's my goal. But, and this person said, well, normally what most people, their goal is when they get out of hospital is just to be able to walk around where they live, And so I thought, but it is those little goals. And for me, that was a goal that was so important to me at that time. Last Saturday, the Saturday before, where are we? So a week ago Saturday, so I've been out of hospital 6 weeks. I achieved that goal of going into the city and meeting up with a friend. But I'd done it in stages, a little bit, walking up the road, coming back, because you always have to remember you've got to be able to get back again, And I then got to the station, and then one day I went up the stairs and onto a train, went one stop and came back again, and realized that was all I was able to do at that time. But I just built up slowly. So it's taking it step by step. And it's also celebrating those achievements and not thinking of them, well, that's only a small goal. It doesn't matter. It does. They're little steps along to the bigger goals, and those bigger goals then can just happen, and so as I say, I've now done that goal into town. There was a goal setting workshop with something called the Yes Group, which was formed many years ago by someone called Carl Pearsall, who had done Anthony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within 4-day program. And he set that, the Yes Group up, because obviously on that program, Anthony Robbins going, yes, 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 you're always saying yes. And it was to sort of support people that have been done that or doing personal development and want to continue it. So it's like a peer group of people that can support you. And there was speakers that would come, and it's and I've reconnected with that because I was part of that many years ago, and I've reconnected with that. And one of my goals has been just to speak at the Yes Group. So I did there was a 15-minute slot available on Saturday, and I had it in my head, I want to do that. But I could feel it within myself. I could feel myself in front of everybody. And even though it got to a point where I thought, I was thinking, oh, I haven't heard if I've got the slot or not, I just put it up there. I went, if I'm meant to be there, I will. I'm going to go anyway. If I'm meant to do the talk, I will. If I'm not, I won't. And I just let it go. Next thing I know, I've got a call from Carl and said, let's have a chat. I want hear about what your 15-minute talk's about and see if it fits. It fitted. I did it. And it's just having this inner knowing. There's something that you set the goal, and it's just about feeling it and going, yes. And if there are any doubts come in, it's recognizing what those doubts are. But when you're really solid in your knowing and your belief in yourself and just put it up there, it just happens, So don't be afraid. Don't think it's got to be a huge life goal. Some of these big, want to climb Mount Everest or want or travel the seven or all the continents or something. It's just what for you would be an achievement that at the moment you're struggling with. There's a goal, and just put it out there, and then say, right, well, what are the steps that I need to take to achieve that? Because for me to get up out of bed, be able to walk take myself to the toilet so that I could then have the catheter taken out. So, I said, I'm not having this catheter taken out until I can get myself to the toilet. I don't want to be caught short. And so it was just that, being able to turn myself, being able to sit up, being able to swing my legs over the edge of the bed, being able to then stand up, get myself up myself without the nurses sort of supporting me, being able to, first of all, I was walking with a frame, then with a walking stick, and then it was just with nothing. It was just myself. And each step, each time, and then being able to walk up steps. So just notice, what are the little steps that take you to your goal. Break it down and then celebrate each time.
And also confidence as well, because for you to be able to achieve that, you had to believe in yourself as well. You have to believe that I can do this. And that's what I always tell my family, that whenever you make a decision for setting goals, it's got to be the goals of the things that you believe that is your destiny and you want to achieve it. And they're like, but in Africa, actually had to, what I have had to do is with my company, I have had to work with another company with the training because the care job, they bringing people to the UK. So I had to calculate how much money in the UK, how much do you get paid when you come here? And then, in Africa, with the rand, the South African rand. And then I have had to find similar trainings, combine them together. There's about 20 trainings, and I'll send them to Africa to one of the churches so that they can actually work with other companies here in the UK so that they can do the training there and go to the training is free. We've made the training available for free because coming to the UK, I'm like, have goals. Like if you come to the UK for care job, what's the plan after that? Are you planning to stay forever? Because visa is costing too much to stay. So all these things I've been talking to my family about before. They couldn't understand it. They're like, Nomsa, you don't understand. I do understand it very well. It's just understanding the power of setting goals and the power of self-beliefs and the power of uniqueness as well, individuality. Because when we set goals and when we create our careers, whatever we do in life, it's got to be like unique. It's got to be our destiny, something that we feel God has called us to do. Like we are here speaking Carol Ann. We're not doing talk show because everybody else is a speaker. No. We're doing it because we love to serve the world, and we love to see people changing lives. We love changing lives. And God is using us to actually change people's destinies for better so that they can become who they want to become. And that's what we are called for to do. And somebody else might be called to do something else. So in this 2024, guys, if you're creating your goals, forget about everybody else that you know. Sit down in a quiet place. Write goals based on your uniqueness and as an individual. Like Carol Anna was saying, they don't have to be big. Because bigger goals, they put you off. They actually they make you think that you're not cut up for things. But when you go step by step, you like small chunks, when you create them in small steps, you want to do this. Even when you win a little bit, you celebrate it step by step, step by step. Like myself, with my business, I set goals. But when goals don't come according to plan, they don't go according to plan, I don't panic. I'm like, okay, God, if you are testing me, show me the way. I tell God there's no need to test me. I mean this. I mean this. I mean for business. So no need to test me. Because there are some people who create goals. When things get tough, they're like, oh no, I can't do this. It's like I used to do that with relationships. When things
Mm.
get tough, I'm out. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
when
was
things
I
get
was
tough,
20
that's
then.
when it's the time to just knuckle down, isn't it? And
Yeah,
just
I
look
was
at
in
it.
my 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in my 20s.
Um,
I used to do that with so many things, but as soon as I understood the power of individuality, the power of authenticity, the power of uniqueness, and the power of God as well, because when God is when God is involved, honestly, you can do the unthinkable. Honestly, is so amazing the goals you can achieve. No matter people seems to think that you have to achieve the bigger goals before God can give you bigger ones. He will test you with the small ones, and once he tests you with the small ones, he knows that you're ready. And also, your heart has to be ready. There shouldn't be any fear when you're doing something. With fear, it doesn't work. But if you're doing it without fear, it doesn't matter the problems that present themselves, you'll be able to achieve and conquer that mountain. What do you think
yeah.
cannot run?
You're saying God, tests you and then he knows that you're ready. I think it's because if you rise to those challenges and those tests, he can then see that you are truly committed and that you are going to be your word and maintain that integrity. So he then, yeah, it's that, okay, you got it. It's that sort of answer in terms of I see you're committed. I see you're ready now. Um, let's, and all of a sudden the goal happens, it's like, okay, here it is. Yeah. I've tested you all this time. You've risen to the challenges. And then suddenly the goal gets achieved. And you don't know when, you don't know how long it's going to take. Some of mine have been really big goals. And don't worry about it. If you do set a big goal, it's okay to set a big goal and go, oh my God, it's okay. Let yourself be scared. But then just put it up there as a prayer. Put it down. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, that's too big. You'll never achieve that. Because actually, you can achieve it. There's that quote. If Jesse Jackson says, if my mind can conceive it, my heart can believe it, I know I can achieve it. So having conceived it in the beginning is a start. Then it's just getting your heart to go, okay, and believe. And then there's that knowing you can achieve it, but it might take a long time. Some of mine, as I said, have taken years to come about. And when they've come about, it's like, oh my goodness, I set that goal all those years ago and I've now done it. It was about, I think about 20 years ago, maybe a bit less, that I set a goal to speak at the Yes Group. And then it was a big meeting. There was a lot of people there. It was on stage. And there were a lot of things that sort of almost it nearly happened, but it didn't. And now I've done a small talk. I've done that twice. My next goal is to do the hour-long talk when we have our in-person meeting. And it's like all these years later, it's like, yes. But at the time, it just seemed huge to me. It's like a really big goal. But just stuck with speaker training, getting clear on my message, just dealing with whatever life has thrown at me and bounced back again. And sometimes gone down into it and gone, oh, why you you can get a bit depressed, but it's about becoming an observer of that depression rather than staying in it and going, okay, so what's going on here now? Until you can eventually pull yourself out. And if you can't pull yourself out, there are people out there that can support you. That's why we do what we do here, because it's that joy of seeing somebody come out of that darkness, that thought, oh, I can't do this, I really can't. And you can hear people say, I don't know, I can't. And can you see it's that really depressing, heavy energy, but giving them that ability to go, oh, here, and say, oh, maybe that is possible. That's what this is about. And we all have a destiny, I believe. And sometimes we don't realize what it is. And it's about realizing what that destiny is. What is it we're here for? And it might be to inspire others. It might be just to learn for ourselves. For me, it's about just being in this 3D world, in this physical body, and understanding how actually incredible our bodies are. Because the healing that can happen is absolutely, truly phenomenal. And I mean, I got to a point where when I came out of hospital, I was just literally skin and bone. It was just flesh, and all I could do was feel my bones. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, am I ever going to get any padding back again? It just felt like I was there, and I literally had no breasts at all. They'd gone completely. And now I'm 7 weeks out of hospital. I've been eating, I've been moving. The more I've been eating more and more and drinking. And I have padding now. My breasts have come back again. It's like, wow, I didn't think that was possible. But it is.
Anything is possible, Carol Ann.
I know. My skin has got padding under it. I'm plumping out. It's the word that comes to mind. And I'm putting on weight. And it's like, oh my goodness. I just thought I was going to be scrawny and skin and bone for the rest of my life and not have that strength. But it is amazing. And I'm just in absolute wonder of what our bodies are capable of. And I knew our bodies could heal itself. I had that knowing, but I've got it at a deeper level now. You give it the correct nutrients, the right balance of movement, exercise, nutrition, and it responds, just absolutely magical. But it's knowing what it is. And so if you don't know, reach out. We've got people here that can help. We can help with mindset, with, what is the nutrition you need? We've got coaches here, but there's other people around you. Seek support, because that's one of the key things, is getting people around you that are positive and supportive and can guide you. And it's not about going to people and say, tell me what to do. It's about going and getting advice and asking what their thoughts are. Doing courses, I think what you're doing there, Nomsa, for those people in Africa, just doing the courses so that they can come over. They're already trained. You're muted.
Also find out my uni, they actually don't have to come to United Kingdom. They can stay there and study there. So all I need to do, if I have the money, I'll just sponsor one family member and they just study there. So those are the things that I have been finding out, that, okay, so if they don't have to come here, that means that they don't have to worry about applying for visas or anything. Just stay there and just study.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's lots of opportunities. For me, before I used to complicate things, but now I don't. I just ask God and I'm like, God, I read the scripture and I say, God, okay, I have to make sure that my attitude and my character aligns with the Bible. And once I see that it aligns with it and I know I'm not perfect, I ask for his forgiveness. And then I just have to ask anything you ask in my name, I ask.
Mm.
And sometimes it doesn't respond when I need it, which is, it doesn't come my time. It always comes his own time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does
Yes.
not come. It does not come when I want him to respond. He doesn't ignore me, but he wants to know, do I mean what I say?
Mm.
Am I loving him even if he doesn't show up? The more I testify his love, my love for him, and then he comes, he shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something called God's time, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which actually is his timing is perfect. When you really get it, it is perfect. And
Yeah. And he
perfect.
restores, like you were saying, Carol Anne,
Mm.
that your health is coming back slowly. God restores anything that we lose in 5 years or 20 years, he restores it in 20 seconds.
Mm.
So that's when I've realized actually I don't have to worry about anything. I used to worry about Ngozi talk shows when somebody says, why is this not happening? Why is this not happening? I worry about it. And God is an amazing God. And I
Mm.
just one day sat here in front of the computer, and somebody came to me and said, someone messaged me and said, so I would like to work with you. And this person is actually, at first I thought he was joking, honestly. And I was like, what is in it for you? And he was like, I just like your attitude. I want to hang out with you. Your character, I just want to learn from you. And I
Mm.
was like, okay, just get on with work. And whatever we sell, you get this much percentage. And he was actually serious. And he's done so much work. This person is He's done amazing work. He's like, he got plans. And then the other day, he was like, he giving me the goals for everything for 2024. I was like, oh, he's serious, God. But at first, I had to pray to God. I had to
Mm.
go through challenges with people paying them money, not doing the work. And I had to go through asking God, and I had to go through him not responding when I needed him, but I knew he would come through. But when he came through, he didn't come the way I expected him to come. I expected him to give me somebody that I'm going to pay, somebody that is going to do the work properly. But he was like, no, Noms, I have plans for you. I'm going to bring somebody that does not want any money. That is your helper. You decide what this person is worth. You decide as a child of God. And he
Mm.
came through in a different way that I didn't expect. But my prayer was locate me with somebody that can help me, that is trustworthy, somebody that is going to be paid and do the work. But God was like, no, no, so he kept bringing people, I kept getting people, and it was so annoying. I went to that path where I would get people, they'll offer me this, they'll offer me this, but this guy did not offer me anything. He just offered to help. And I was like, I love to work with you. You have the right attitude. I want to learn from you. So I was like, okay, you
Mm.
get on with work. So he got on with work. And that's why I'm saying when God is at work, is at work. It doesn't matter whether you're qualified for anything, even if you're not qualified for blessings, he'll make you qualify. And now I don't really question anything. I look at myself, the things that I want to achieve in life, I set goals. All I have to do is to pray and take action and just wait and see him come. And people sometimes will judge you. I cannot tell you how many times the people have judged me. I cannot tell you that so many times, but what keeps me going is to say, God, can you please deal with this person because they are your child? their attitude towards me. I don't know if it's their attitude or if Satan is bringing them to actually take my confidence away. But if it's not you, can you please help me with my relationship to be where it needs to be? And when I put that prayer, God knows I'm not judging his children. He comes through more with more blessings. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why you guys need to be aware that when you set goals, even if they don't happen today, know that tomorrow they might happen, next year they might happen. It's life. I'm not talking about things or maybe saying maybe Carol Ann was in a hospital. Some of you guys know I was sending messages every day. Remember Carol Ann with prayers.
Mm.
And I wasn't putting her name, but in the end, because everyone kept asking who is in a hospital, I ended up saying Carol Ann. And then now people were like praying, we're praying for her. But at that moment, I did not give up and I had faith in her as well because she comes here to go to talk shows, her attitude, her behavior. And I just had to trust in you, Carol Ann, that you get up. And I was like talking to God every day. And God was giving me that reassurance when sometimes I wasn't worried, or sometimes He gave me that sign that she's trying, Nomsa. She's trying. I'm there. She's trying. She's gonna get there. Then I had to put my trust. And then she gets discharged. She talks about business. I was
Yeah.
like, don't steal my joy. Let me enjoy. Let me have my joy first. We talk about business after. Let me have my joy celebrating. Because her life is more important than business, than gossip talk show. So that's what and God knew in my heart that I had accepted her with all my heart. Everyone that is around me, I accept people with all my heart.
Mm.
So her going through what she was going through, I just had to surrender to God. And I didn't have that attitude of God is not fair or anything. I said, God, whatever she is going through, go and answer her. I knew He will answer her. And that's my prayers each and every day, guys, to believe that whatever you go through in life, you have to know that whatever goals you set, you get to decide whether those goals you achieve them or you don't. When you quit, that means you've decided that choice is the choice that you've decided. But when you quit before you sing what's on the other side, then they will never know the answer.
That's
It's
right.
just keep going. Sometimes, like Carol Anna was saying, we might get tested.
Mm.
Yes, like if you say, okay, God, I want to start my business, and God will be like, okay, you want to start your business? Okay, can you handle this? And then the challenges come. You just have to keep going, no quitting or anything. Challenges comes. When they do come, be ready for them. When I'm saying be ready for them, is just looking at what you can do. There are things you can control, but some things you can't. Dealing with what you can control. Anything that you cannot do, seek help and support. Don't give up. And about people that are negative, trust me, when you have the attitude of, okay, whatever, if you have this attitude of people don't know my goals, they don't know what I want to achieve, is me that has a relationship with these goals. If they don't believe in me, God, I believe in you that you can help me to succeed in these goals. Don't do it to prove a point. They don't come to pass. If you do it to say, I'm going to prove a point to this one that says I cannot succeed, then the energy it changes. But if you say, God, okay, they are saying I'm not good enough. But what do you say? People around me, the voices, silence those voices that are saying you're not good enough. When you say, okay, God, I'm silencing these voices that tells me that I'm not good enough. But your blood was split on the ground. Can your blood speak for me? Raise a voice for me. Whatever the problem that you might be going through, God will raise a voice for you. He will speak life. spoke life to Carol Ann. She's here today.
Mm. Yeah.
And that was
It's
her prayer,
amazing.
by the way, life, wanting step by step of recovering. She didn't ask for too much. She did not say, God, I want to run right now. I want to get out of the hospital and run marathon. She just said, all I want is step by step to be able to do this. And he was like, I can do that for you. But then she had to have the courage to believe it. That was her self belief, not anybody else. I always say to people, we can pray to somebody, we can motivate them if they're not ready for it or they don't want to do it, they can't do it.
That's right. It's finding it and hearing yourself say, I can't do this. And there were times when I heard myself, oh, I can't do this. And it's like, come on, Caroline, yes, you can. Pull yourself together, and then it was like, right. And then I did it, but I could hear other companions that were in the same ward as me, in the same bay. And they were going, oh, I can't. And their energy. And I going, yes, you can. Just have belief, just have a go. And it was constant. I can't. And some of them I managed to just speak with them and say, well, listen to what you're saying to yourself, and just tweak their wording. And they started being able to, say, okay, well, let's have a go. Let's see if I can just get myself up to standing, so instead of saying I can't, it's like, well, let's see what I can do. And this is what I found myself doing. Okay, I wasn't getting somebody to come and help me walk that day. So what I started doing was just standing up, because I was helped into a chair to sit, because sitting is a really powerful way of getting strength back into your body rather than just lying in bed all day. And even if I couldn't get up and walk, what I found myself doing was the occupational therapist had come and shown me how I could get myself to standing from the chair, because that was a goal that I had that day. I said, right, I can get myself to standing from the bed, because it was a lower place, where my hands were to push myself up. I couldn't push myself up from the chair. So I said to the OT, my goal today is to be able to get myself up from the chair. So she then showed me how to position my hands and myself and my body and the movement to make. And then it was like, oh, so I just literally rock forward and lever myself up rather than trying to go like this. There's a way of doing it. There's a different action to do. And once I was able to do that, I was like, all right, okay, so I'm up. So I would start getting myself up, I would stand, and I would just march on the spot. Started off with a few steps, and I'd sit down again, and then I'd get up again, do a few more. And just by doing that, I found myself getting stronger. So I wasn't actually walking anywhere. I was just marching on the spot. And I found myself doing more and more. So what is the little things that you can do? That it is that recognizing when you're saying to yourself, I can't do this. I can't. Just acknowledge, okay, I said I can't. Come on. Yes, you can. Pull yourself together, girl. Or boy, whoever you are, Yeah, it was like, just pull yourself together. I take a breath and I go, right. And there was that determination then came in, that belief came in, and all of a sudden I was doing it, And so determination, being relentless, and being resilient, 3 key resources for you to have. Because if you're determined, then you'll get there. The resilience helps you to bounce back again. And the being relentless just helps you to keep going. It's that. I remember someone saying to me many years ago, we were having a chat and we talked through something and had helped him sort something out. And then in our conversation, shortly after, something else came up. So he started again. He said, "You're relentless, aren't you?" And I went, "Yep." It's you tackle one thing after another as they show up. Don't just keep pushing them away. So it's being relentless. So find those in yourself because they are there, and it's believing that they're there. And if you can't find them, put up that prayer. As I say, whether it's God, it's the universe, or whoever you believe in, that higher power to support you and say, "I know it's within. Please help me find it." And utilize it. It's not just about finding it, it's being able to utilize it. Have determination, have relentlessness, have resilience. That's a very simple prayer, very powerful. And then just notice what changes. And it might be just little subtle changes, but just notice. But something else I heard you say, people said to you, Nomsa, but you don't understand. If you find people are saying that to you, it's a block. If you find yourself saying that to somebody else, but you don't understand, help them to understand. And if people are saying that to you, say, well, okay, what is there for me to understand? Help me understand. Because I think I understand, but clearly from your point of view, I don't. So help me understand. Because there may be something that you're not quite understanding. But in that conversation, they'll go, oh, you do understand. There'll be something twigs or they'll feel heard. And when they feel that you understand, you'll get that shift and you'll feel them coming on board. Or the same for yourself when you're saying to someone, but you don't understand. If you help them understand, you can feel them then open up and go, oh. It happened when I first went into hospital, went into A&E, and I was talking to all these doctors, telling them about giving them my story about the mass that had been diagnosed 20 years ago, and I decided to deal with it holistically. But I now got to a point where it was so big that it needed to actually come out. But this one doctor was saying, but why? Why wouldn't you see a doctor? Or why did you choose that? So I shared with him. I was able to just take a breath and go, okay. And I was able to share with him. And I could see, it's like, oh, it was like a world opened up for him that he had no knowledge of or no idea of its power and potential. It was just a glimmer again, and I could see it. It was like, wow. And then we got back to it, but he then stopped questioning me. He stopped judging me. We were then in a conversation and we were able to move on. It was an absolutely exquisite moment, you know?
Because
So
you
it is,
can heal yourself. You can go through
yeah,
healing.
yeah,
You don't know everything is for medication.
no, no. And did a lot. And there was one of the nurses that when I first went into A&E and I said, that I decided to deal with it holistically. But the consultant that I'd seen at that point, and he told me there was, this mass it needed taken out, it needed an operation. And I said I was going to deal with it holistically. He stood over me and said, it won't work. And then he wrote to my doctor and said, well, I decided to not to have the operation. And he wrote, because she's scared. And when I read that, I was furious. How dare he make that assumption? Because I hadn't said I was scared. I just said I wanted to deal with this in a different way. And so there was that part of me then that went, oh, I'm going to show you, which actually that's what took me to the point of almost destroying my body. But we didn't. I heard my daughter say something to me and we were able to then go, okay, let's see the doctor. But until that point, I was like, no, I'm not seeing a doctor again. I'm not seeing one. I will show them. But actually, one of the nurses that I saw when I first went into the A&E, it was the second one I saw, and I shared my story, and she said, well, something must have worked holistically for you to still be here 20 years later. I went, Oh, thank you. I hadn't even thought of it like that, you know? So, and yes, something had worked. I just got to a point where I needed to then step into the medical world and see what they could do for me, because that was that route that was needed then. And I just walked into, but I was supported. It was the perfect timing. As ill as I was, and as, close to death's door as I was supported all the way. I just felt I met so many, I think, as I said last week, so many angels, doctors, nurses, support staff as well. It was just an incredible um, healing journey for me.
I believe in healing.
Mm,
I believe in healing. Healing, self-healing exists.
yeah, yeah. And there was a lot of self-forgiveness that I had to go through,
Oh, yes.
because obviously there were decisions I'd made that got me to where I was. And it was like, okay, there's nothing wrong. You decided what you did. You went down this route. We're here. And now we can pull out, we can move on and use those resources that got you there, which was relentless, being determined, resilience, just bouncing back, going, no, I'm going to sort this out, I'm going to sort this out. But what I did realize was that I was so tunnel visioned in that, and I didn't really know what else to do. And I was so determined, no, I'm not going to the doctors. I'm not going to the doctors. If I'd actually had a more of a listening before, a mixture of the two would maybe might have been a different journey. Who knows? But the holistic side certainly um, was really powerful. And then going into hospital and having that journey, and then having, because it did need, this mass needed taking out, and it was a 4 kilogram mass that I had, that they took out. So my body's had quite an onslaught. I think they went in a couple of times and swished it out because there was a lot of pus in there, and then they did my appendix because they said that looked like that had ruptured at some point. So now, as I'm coming back, and sort of keep going, oh, but I want to be able to walk more quickly. I want to do more things and stop sleeping as much. And then I have to remember my body had a huge onslaught, you know? And so I just keep going, thank you, body. Thank you for going through this. You know what you can do. And then just putting up that prayer. And I did a thank you to God the other night and said, thank you. Just help me to keep recognizing my achievements and what I've been through, and know that what I'm meant to be doing, even if it's not happening right now, it will happen, you know? So, yeah, I'm back on this show, and it's like, yay, it's another step forward, and it feels good. Feels good. Yeah. So,
Yeah, life is, we get to decide.
mm,
Life. We get to make choices how we want to our lives to look like. And
mm,
guys, you can make that choice.
yeah.
And for me, the choices that have led me to where I am is to listen to God and listen to what my heart desires, and listen to, and also bringing that energy that can give me strength, and looking at my weaknesses and seeking support. I don't just seek support from no one. There are specific people that I seek support from, professionals. If
Mm,
it's not professional, it's my family. But in my family also, there are specific people that I will talk to them about my dreams, my goals, because sometimes when you have goals, you have to keep them to yourself. So if I need help, that's when I talk to people about my goals, what I need to achieve. And if I'm struggling, but if I'm not struggling, I do things secret. And yeah, I crack on.
I crack on,
Uh,
yes.
the
Yeah.
moment the moment I open my mouth and tell people about my goals, they're like, no, sir, you're mad. I don't think you can achieve that. I don't think you can do that. So that's why I don't talk anymore.
Mm.
I just go quiet. If I'm stuck, I seek help. And I tell God, these are my goals. And sometimes He takes His own time. He doesn't respond when I need Him now, but I know He will. So I have to wait for Him to help me out. And but He always do. And sometimes if I'm like doing the goals and feeling stuck with something, the Holy Spirit will guide me through it. There's something, honestly, there's some things like in the business where I'm like, I need to do this, but I don't know how I'm going to afford to do this. He just comes in and do his thing and just pointing me to, it teaches me how to do it.
That's it.
When you trust. Yeah. This is not a joke, guys. I just pray to God sometimes. I say it as it is, how I'm feeling inside. If I'm feeling lost and I'm feeling that I need strength, I need Him to give me strength, I will explain. You know, there's some way when you guys gossip with people. Yeah, that's why they say don't gossip. The same way when you sit down and talk to your friend or to a coach, yeah, I sit down and tell God and I say, God, and I'll go to the scripture, every code, every problem has a code in the Bible. I go to the find the scripture and I say, God, you say you are the way, you are the truth, you are the life. So here's my problem. I don't know the way forward. Help me out. And he will come in and help me out. Whatever that I'm doing, you come in. Or sometimes if it doesn't, it means I need to pause. It means that sometimes some things don't need him. I need to focus. Or sometimes I just need to pause for one day just to have a thinking day. So that's what I do. I have my thinking day where I will just sit on the sofa doing nothing. Not even the TV. The TV does not come on. I will just stay focused or maybe just listen to the music, do the work, of course, for my business, but not worrying about the problem that I'm going through. And He always come through because I have this self-beliefs that if He can create, if He is the creator of the earth, that means in that universe that He's created, there's a portion for me that I can have for my blessings. So I just have to say it, God, you say it in your word. In this, I caught everything. And what else do I do? Where's my book? Yeah, I caught everything. And what He says, like there's scripture specific that He says, without me you cannot do nothing. Seek, you will find. So I don't just say a scripture. I just call Him out. All upon me now.
That's right,
And
call him out.
yeah,
Yeah.
when He comes, sometimes when He comes, you show me the things that makes me uncomfortable. But I have to be prepared as well. So you guys have to use your beliefs. And whatever you believe, use that. And when you use that and you have to believe in it, you cannot have a room for people who are negative. People who are negative, we are not meant to get angry with them. We are not meant to judge them. You hand over to God. That's how I do things. I always share the story about my daughter that her teacher, she worked really hard with my daughter. At the end of the year, July, she gave a really negative report. When I'm saying negative, I mean negative.
Yeah.
And which I had to go to school and say, that's not my daughter's report that you put there. So can you change it? And she said, no. So I looked at her in the eye. I said, I can testify. The Bible says, God says, I'm the way, I'm the truth, and life. So I'm testifying you that you, as a woman, you helped my daughter to be where she is today. That's not her report. I went to the head teacher, said, can you change the report? Because I was writing goals. She was helping my daughter out at home. I was helping her out. I had goals that I needed to achieve for my daughter. And I was expecting to say, wow, we've achieved some of it. But she said the report, nothing was achieved. So I spoke to the head teacher, and the head teacher said the report is stand. And I was like, okay, got home, changed my daughter's school straight away. She moved to school. The moment she moved school, 2 weeks later, the teachers that new school from the new school, and they were like, your daughter, she's amazing. She's good at this. She's excellent at this. She's good at this. I was like, hallelujah, thank God. I was like, I knew it because you just know in your heart. Because the woman, I went and sat her down. She helped my daughter. And at home as well, I was helping her. I could see she has developed, she has improved. But she just did not believe in her work, which was not my problem. But for me, I had to believe in my daughter. I had to believe in her. And believing in her, meaning I had to take action as well at the same time. And when I moved to school, the teachers that were not teaching my daughter, they saw that my daughter was smart. Honestly, Carol Ann, if you give her now, if you give her like 100 questions, she takes less than 10 minutes to answer them 100%. And this is the child that was told that she's behind. If I am this woman that is not into personal development or no praying, I would have actually allowed them to call somebody to help my daughter because she's not capable of doing anything. But I knew, when you give birth to a child, I knew that child, she's smart. I know my children are smart.
Yeah.
But at the same time, lockdown affected so many things. But we had passed that. So, but she didn't believe the hard work that she's done for my daughter. And I testified to her, I said, no, I've watched my daughter when she was struggling. But now I'm in a point where I'm watching my daughter when she's being amazing at home. When I give her homework, she's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just changed the school straight away because me, I don't like talking too much. And at the time when I changed the school, I said, God, I don't know what I'm doing. I just need your guidance. And God proved that when you don't just talk to people, fight no one, do what's right. And it turns out that I was right. I did the right thing. And the school, yes, the old school, they worked really hard with her, but they didn't. I cannot tell you why they didn't give a reward to her, why this woman did not reward her work. I cannot tell you why, but all I can tell you is there's somebody out there higher than anybody if you believe. Yeah.
Anyway, it's 2:15.
I know. We need to go.
Yes.
Do you have any words of encouragement, Carol Ann?
There's a couple of quotes that I think I'd like to just share. One is by Felicia Etienne. And she says, self-doubt is the thief of opportunity, the assassin of ambition, and the enemy of progress. Don't let it rob you of the life you deserve.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely, yes. And the other one
the
is
life that we deserve.
Yeah.
Me, I just testify life. Honestly, I have learned that the hard way. I just testify life and things comes to pass.
Yeah. And the other one is by Rachel Walchin. You sometimes lose by taking risks. Sorry, I'll start that again. You sometimes lose by taking risks, but you always lose by holding back. So
Yeah.
what have you not been willing to take a risk at? What's that goal that's buried that you've forgotten about? And if that were to come to the surface, I wonder what it might be. And if it scares you, just go, oh, okay, write it down. And then just go, okay, it scares me. Acknowledge it scares you. But be willing to take a risk, to take a step towards it, that maybe it is possible. And just say, well, what's the first step I could take towards this? Anything is possible if you believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll be amazed when you
yeah.
believe in
Let us
something.
know. Let us know what you achieve. What scares you? What scares you, and what steps are you taking towards it? And when you achieve it, let us know. We'd love to know. Just pop it in the chat sometime.
Yeah,
So
this, yeah. I love to hear from you guys the goals that scares you the most, that you had
mm,
to make a decision to do them.
yeah,
And for what is worth, those goals, you always achieve them as long you don't give up.
yeah.
If it's love that you desire, never
Mm,
give up on finding that special person. If a promotion or business, never give up.
mm,
Just always just
yeah.
keep going. And guys, if you need to connect with me or Carol Ann, please go to our social media, get in touch, or you can get in touch on social media. I think my office number is there, email address is there, and on the website as well, the information there is there. You can uh, sign up either for relationship or for coaching as well. So there's two sides. And also, if you are a company, you want to hire any coaches for Gossip Talk Show to spend time with you and your staff, you have that option as well. And what else do I offer? What else do we Gossip Talk Show offer? We will be offering boot camp as well, different cities around the world, that the website will be up, I think, this week,
Cool.
for
Yeah.
people to sign up. Those who wants to sign up
Mm,
for boot camp. There's different countries, Europe, America, Africa. So we can actually, what we do live, we can go for 7 days intense and do it and then come back. And whatever that, for me, I believe that problems start from the foundation when you are born. When you keep find yourself in the same cycle, that means there's a foundation that needs to be removed. There's something that is attached with your foundation that needs to be removed. There's a belief that needs to be removed. So in order to do that, that's why we're creating boot camp. If it's love that you find yourself stuck, or life in general, we go through that. We help you to create different beliefs about your life, and beliefs that can carry you through life. We don't tell you what to do, but you get to do the work. We just use psychology, and I ask God to step in and help you too. So that's what we're going to be doing very soon. So, guys, if you want to coaching as well, I think we have one-on-one we can do on Zoom wherever you might be. We offer that as well. So you can sign up or you can do coaching in person, depending where you are. But there's option there. So options, lots of options there. And there's so many things that the coaches offer. We have different coaches. I am a psychologist, a love harmonist, a matchmaker, and dating coach. So if you want all that coaching, and Carol Ann, tell them you're coaching.
um, yeah, I'm the. Oh my goodness, it's so long since I said it. I'm a writing facilitator, but I'm also a relationship coach. The two come together. Amazing. Every time I've been supporting somebody with unlocking that writer within and getting their story written, we've ended up working on relationships, and the relationships have started to improve and shift. So I bring the two together. So yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Mm,
so that's what we're gonna be doing, and
mm,
in 2024 we'll be doing boot camp.
cool.
If Italy calls us, we
Yeah.
go to Italy. If London calls
Mm,
us, we go to London. If Cape Town calls us, we go to Cape Town. Yeah, I think Cape Town
mm,
is one of the cities that will be going,
oh,
and
nice.
Italy,
Mm,
London,
mm-hmm,
America is Los Angeles.
yeah.
There is about, and the islands, some of islands, there's about 10 or 12 countries that it will be going, and they are exotic as well. Some of them is just an island where we go without any disturbances. When you want quite time, and we just need. And when you attend this event, it's just gonna be really powerful. We do practical. For me, when I do the events, I don't do the talking, by the way, guys.
Mm.
I do the practical things. I know when we do the practical things and then we get to work, we get to find out what's in that block, what exactly is blocking you. Because I've been there myself. I've blocked myself with unforgiveness. I've blocked with myself with the beliefs that I've planted in my head. I've blocked myself by telling myself that was 11 years ago, by telling myself that I wasn't enough. And there's so many things, chains that I chained myself. Um, but then when I realized how to break those chains, and after I broken those chains, that's how I became the person that I am today. I didn't just wake up one day. I was always like this when I was young, but when I became a teenager, that's when I became a follower. I started following my friends, their dreams. I started doing what they're doing, but actually, it wasn't me. So when I decided that I'm just going to focus on God and focus on me, along the way, there were people that told me that I was dreaming. I could never do the things that I wanted to do, but you'll be surprised when you believe. And when God is on your side, when you actually surrender and say, God, I don't know what I'm doing, but by the way, I want to achieve these goals, but I cannot achieve them on my own. Could you please help me, hold my hand? You'll be surprised what God can do. Healing, if you need
Mm.
healing, you'll be surprised what He can do. If it's finances, you'll be surprised what God can do. If it's children, for them to be smart, like I told you guys about my daughter, I pray. I
Mm.
just pray. Yeah. Carol Ann was in hospital. My father-in-law was in hospital. I just went to I couldn't reach her. She refused for me to go and reach her. If she allowed me, she would have been there for maybe 1 week. Yeah. And I went there, and that's when I trained myself, and I just pray. And the minute I prayed for my father-in-law. And when I finished prayer, and I knew that he's not gonna stay there. Then the next thing, he had gone back where he lives. And that was God. So there are some things that I do secret without people knowing. Just pray. I just ask God. If you learn, guys, every scripture that is in the Bible, there is a reason for it. And when you clear your heart, clear your mind has to be focused, it has to be pure. But inside, you got to cry your desire, you got to want it. And you got to tell God, God, if this does not happen, that means, God, you'll be shamed and Satan will win. And he always come to pass. If he doesn't come today, tomorrow he comes, or even 1 week later he comes. So you just have to believe. Anything you desire in life, know that it will always come. So
Mm.
go to the website, sign up. The website might not be live anyway, I don't know. Because the other website, there's a live website, there's another website that needs to be switched. And so they're switching it yesterday. So if it's not live, if it's live, it's fine. If it's not live, don't worry. That means it's been switched. When it's switched, it has to take like a few hours to come on. But if it's live, if that one is live, you just sign up with the one that is live. But if you want to talk to me, my number is there. You can contact me direct. If you want to connect with Carol Ann, you can contact Carol Ann through the office number that is on the website or through her social media. If she does not respond, just get in touch with me. I will connect you with her as well. So you can talk to her. And mostly, If you're somebody who you guys know what she's been through, she was in how long were you in the hospital, Carol Ann?
12 weeks.
Yeah, she was in there for 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was meant to go on holiday, guys, but it never happened. She sent me a message and saying, no, sir, I will not. You know, she told me at the talk show that next week I won't be available. Was it for 2 weeks, right? I won't be available for 2 weeks because I'm going away. This week, I think she was doing something this week. And then the following week, she was going away. So she wasn't going to be around. I think so.
I
But
don't
then
know.
she sent me a message the following day. She was never holiday. The holiday never happened. She was in a hospital.
Yeah.
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 And that holiday for 2 weeks ended up being 12 weeks. But she had to work on her healing. I had to put my trust in her as well. And I had to put my trust in God. And every time I prayed, I knew she'll come back. And I knew my life was being tested because when I went, you guys know, when I went to homeless, she was the person that was supporting me big time. And she was the person that was there for me. And I could not understand why I was homeless. I was like, I have the money, but why would this person just change their mind with last minute? And she was like, what about your ancestors? And I was like, what happens with you? I was like, what is my ancestors got to do with me being homeless? And she was like, wow. And I was like, for everything in my family, I have had problems, but I have never been homeless in my life. And that's when I realized that actually my life was being tested. And when my life was being tested, I stayed with my father-in-law, but that was good. And then my life was being tested again when I was enjoying my moving out. When I got a home, uh, moving out from my father-in-law, and then my life got tested again. He was in a hospital, but then I realized that God is his way. And then I found it. But when I find a home, it was really funny because I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to go to a big mansion house. I'm just going to downgrade the home. But when this guy, he just disappeared looking for a home for me. When he came back, it was so funny because Carol Ann was like, what about your ancestors? Then I started breaking whatever any stronghold that was in my family that I didn't know anything about it. And the guy comes back and he offers me a home. And I was like, what about the party of where we have to do the checks, where we have to do the affordability? After talking to him, he was like, can you come and pick up the keys and transfer the money and do the paperwork? And I was like, but I'm waiting for the party where we have to do the paperwork, where I come to the office, and then you do the checks if I can afford to pay rent or I can afford to do whatever I needed to do. We didn't do that part. That's when guys, when God is in play, when God is working, he does his own way. So I went through that journey. And when I went through that journey of that life, it was part of him showing me that this life that I am asking, do I really want? How much do I want it? How much do I love him? Because I could simply say, you know what, God, you don't exist. So I could have simply changed my focus, but I didn't change my focus. He made a way for me, and I stayed there. When I found the house, there was no process of whatever, anything. It was come and sign the document.
Yeah. Yes.
That was it. And put the money. And then I was like, God, what about the other process? And I realized that when he is at work, he is at work. And at the time, I was actually doing my final exams for my university, but I managed to do them. as well because I had to find ways. I'd picked up the computer, every computer that laptop that I owe, I have to the storage. But then I was like, okay, I'll do the work my own way. My daughter had a laptop. She refused for me to do it. But I was like, I'm not buying a laptop. So I went to the library. And guess what the library did? They were like, anytime you want to do your work, you can do your work. Because I did not want to stay in the office. And sometimes I want to come out of my computer.
Mm.
So I did work, my business work in the office, and then I go to the library and do the work after till late when I finish work because they close at 8. So they were like, you can come in anytime and do your work. So I do the work quietly and then go home and I finish my exams. It was hard work. I finished it. The
Mm.
challenges. So all those things when we do the boot camp, we do all those things based on your story. For myself, I have to hold on to the truth that I know that whatever challenges you go through, you can come on the other side and climb the mountain and win whatever
Mm.
battle you go through.
Yeah. So
So
that
live with
said,
grace,
yeah, we
everyone.
can
It's
continue. Yes.
14:35. We've got to go.
Yes. And we can continue this conversation another time under another
Yeah, next
heading.
Tuesday, Carol Anna will be here next Tuesday.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll continue the conversation next time, guys. We have to go
Mm.
now and live with grace, everyone. It's 2024, and just let 2024 be different to
Mm.
2023. How you gonna make it different? You have to find strength. When life doesn't make sense, find that strength. God
That's our
bless.
topic for next week.
What's that?
What you just said. How find 2024 different?
Oh, really?
Yeah, why not? How can we make it different? How can we find it to be different? Let's make that the topic for next Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's
Okay, let me write it down before I forget.
yeah,
Different. Okay.
yeah, cool.
I'm already making my 2024 different, guys. So
Yeah,
I'll share my story, how I'm making it 2024.
cool. Yeah,
Challenges, they help you to get creative.
yeah.
So God
Look forward
bless
to next week.